It's late on a Tuesday in a high-rise apartment. A woman pours a glass of wine, opens her phone, and types one line into a listing, a rate, $280 an hour. An average pulled from tens of thousands of workers. Run it across a full week, and it clears the top 0.5% of American earners, past surgeons, past attorneys. It looks like someone cracked the code, except it doesn't hold. These workers are escorts, and their year looks nothing like their hour. Follow this woman across 12 months. The dead weeks, the cancellations, the nights the phone never lights up, and the number caves in. The median annual income for an American escort is about $32,000. Below the poverty line for a single adult. We talk about this work like it's one job with one price. It isn't. It's a market, tiered, sorted, stratified like any labor market on earth. A bottom, a middle, a top. The rate is real at every level. So is the income. And so is the toll each level quietly charges to stand on it. That glowing rate was never a salary. It was a headline, the top rung of a ladder almost no one reaches, advertising a wealth the annual math refuses to pay. Before we climb, be clear about the picture in your head. When most people imagine this world, they see one of two things: the poverty of the street or the glamour of the penthouse. One story told two ways. That single story is the mistake. Start at the hard floor. Data from the International Labor Organization puts the average sex worker in a low-income country at $2.50 an hour. In wealthy nations, it rises to about 18. Still wage work, not wealth. Research from Kazakhstan found women earning roughly $125 a month, holding up whole households on it, most of them the only earner. The average age of entry just 21. This is the bottom rung. Most people picture it as the whole ladder. From here, the film climbs one rung at a time: street, independent, high-end, and Nevada's legal brothels, counting what each pays and what it takes to belong. Hey, it's CJ, the creator of this channel. Making YouTube videos has been easier than it is today thanks to topic2video.com. I created this software from scratch and used it to build this channel and monetize the video you're watching right now. If $30 to $50 per day in YouTube ad revenue sounds appealing to you, topic2video.com can generate the videos to help you get there. Try it for free at topic2video.com today. Back to the video. To understand why that gap exists, you have to understand how the market is structured. Sex work, a term that covers any exchange of sexual services for money, is not a flat industry. It is tiered the way that any labor market is tiered. At the bottom of the tier is street-based work, the most visible, the most exposed, and the least financially rewarding relative to the physical and personal risk involved. In the middle is independent escorting, private arrangements often sourced through online advertising where the worker sets her own terms, at least in theory. At the top are premium high-end escorts operating in major cities and commanding rates that can reach into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars per hour. And running alongside all of this in one of the few places where the work is fully legal in the United States is Nevada's licensed brothel system, a structured environment with its own set of financial realities. Each tier is a different job, different clients, different income, different risks, and a completely different daily life. Start at the bottom. Street-based sex work is the tier most people picture when they think of this industry, and it is where the economics are the harshest. According to global data from the International Labor Organization, sex workers in low-income countries average about $2.50 per hour. Even in high-income countries, the average sits around $18.30 per hour when you count the full market. Street-based workers in the United States usually fall below the median for their own market. Research from GitNux puts street earnings at roughly 20% below what indoor platform-connected escorts charge. Over hundreds of transactions a year, that gap adds up fast. Street work offers almost no control over the client, no real screening, and no backup if something goes wrong. Studies from Kazakhstan and Mongolia found that most women in precarious sex work were the main financial providers for their households, with children and other dependents relying on them. The average age of entry in those studies was around 21. For most women at this tier, it is survival income. Move up a tier and the economics look better, but they also get more complicated. Independent escorting means a woman arranges her own clients, sets her own rates, and works without a manager taking a cut. That freedom is real, but it comes with costs that the hourly rate does not show. Check this out. Online platforms, classified sites, review boards, and booking apps can take between 40 and 60% in fees and commissions, according to GitNux. A woman charging $200 per session might keep only $80 to $120 after platform costs. The Urban Institute found that nearly half of the pimps and managers they interviewed used internet advertising to attract clients, which shows how deeply digital platforms shape the market. Even with strong hourly rates, the median annual income across the U.S. escort market is around $32,000. That reflects irregular bookings, unpaid time spent on marketing and screening, and weeks when work slows down. The middle tier gives more control than street work, but it is not a stable paycheck. At the top of the market, the numbers get shocking. The average hourly rate across the U.S. escort market is around $280 to $300 per hour in multiple studies. In London, independent escorts average around £250 per hour. In top-tier cities like New York, high-end escorts can charge up to $2,000 per hour. That's crazy. A single booking can earn more than many Americans make in a month. High-end escorting is not just about charging more. It means building a brand. Professional photos, a strong online presence, word of mouth from trusted clients, and strict screening. Travel is common. Many high-end escorts work in multiple cities, which adds costs for hotels, transportation, and time. Privacy is a huge concern. A leak, like a real name or photo in the wrong place, can destroy years of income. The money is real, but the lifestyle is far from simple. Nevada is the only U.S. state where prostitution is legal, and only in certain rural counties. Its licensed brothel system has what much of the rest of the market lacks: legal recognition, regulated safety standards, and a formal workplace. On paper, the numbers look strong. According to GitNux, women working in Nevada brothels earn around $100,000 a year on average, nearly 3 times the median for independent escorts elsewhere in the country. That's crazy, right? But the structure changes the work in major ways. Women usually live on site for multi-week rotations, so the workplace is also home. The brothel takes a large cut, and the split between worker and house can be significant. Rules about clients, schedules, and behavior are set by the establishment, not the worker. The safety floor is real, but the autonomy of independent work is mostly gone. The income across this market ranges from poverty level survival to 6 figures, but the number alone does not tell you what the work feels like as a life. At the street tier, the money often disappears right away into rent, utilities, children's needs, and food. There is almost nothing left to save. There is no paid time off, no sick day, and no slow week where the bills stop. Research from Kazakhstan found women earning about $125 a month from sex work, with total household income around $170, barely above the poverty line. In Mongolia, similar studies showed women were the main earners for whole families. For many, leaving the market is not just a choice, it is an economic wall. In the independent tier, the income can support a steadier life, but the work often requires a separate identity, phone, and maybe address. At the high end, the money can be huge, but the standards, image demands, and privacy needs follow them everywhere. Nevada adds safety and structure, but takes away freedom. Every tier pays differently. Every tier also costs something different in return. One of the biggest changes in the escort economy over the last 2 decades has to do with the internet. Before digital platforms, street visibility was one of the few reliable ways to find clients. The Urban Institute found that by 2007, nearly half of the managers and intermediaries in the underground sex economy were using online classifieds, social media, review boards, and custom websites to advertise and book clients. That moved much of the market indoors and changed who could reach whom. Online platforms gave independent escorts a way to find clients without intermediaries. But those same platforms can take 40 to 60% in fees, and the rules can change fast. Legal pressure has often forced advertising sites to shut down or move, disrupting income for women who relied on one platform for clients. In 2007, the underground commercial sex economy in 7 major U.S. cities was valued between $39.9 million and $290 million before smartphone-era platforms fully matured. Digital access expanded the market. It also gave huge pricing power to the platforms in the middle. The escort economy is not one income bracket. It is a hierarchy of trade-offs. And the higher you go, the less the trade-off is about money, and the more it is about something else entirely. At the bottom, the trade-off is survival. The money is small, the risk is high, and there is no easy way out when the job is the only thing keeping the household running. In the middle, the trade-off is stability. The rates can be decent, but irregular bookings, platform dependency, and the invisible cost of managing a double life make the annual income much weaker than the hourly rate suggests. At the top, the trade-off is performance, the constant management of image, discretion, client expectations, and a lifestyle that must remain invisible to the people who are not paying for it. And in Nevada's legal brothels, the trade-off is autonomy, a more stable and better compensated arrangement that puts safety and structure first, but removes the freedom to set your own terms. What all 4 tiers share is this: the women inside them are not on the fringe of the economy. They are inside it, doing the math the same way everyone else does, weighing income against cost, time against reward, risk against need. The numbers are different at every level, but the calculation is one most people would recognize. Before you go, I want to share something. I make $30 to $50 per day on YouTube thanks to a tool I built called topic2video.com. It took 2 months of posting, but I did it, and you can too. I never made money on YouTube before this, so you don't have to be an expert to start. All you need is an idea. Get started for free at topic2video.com today.